everyone, this is an eye review for Jordan V. May. Here we have a blue eye, obviously, but do you see all of that white stuff on top of the blue that kind of looks almost like a baby blue color, like a grayish color? That's all lymph. And if you look at the outside part of the eye, right around the edges of the iris, you could see the white dots that are kind of more visible going kind of around or around the edge. Those are your lymph nodes, and they are backed up in some areas. So there's so much lymph in the body. In some areas it's actually backed up, but the good thing is it's not backed up in all the areas, because if you look at my some of the eye reviews that I've done, especially you could see it with blue eyes similar to this one, where the lymph nodes are just all around the eye, kind of just looks like dots going around the full eye, and that just shows you, everything is backed up, everything is clogged. And this is when you start to see major problems. This is not the case here, but if you continue to eat the wrong foods, you are going to get there. So it's very important that you start to detox. But so all of this white is going to go. Your actual true eye color is a deeper blue color. It's not a light blue color. Okay. In terms of constitution is kind of on the lower side, meaning that it's generally your genes right now are not as strong. It will get stronger as you detox and as you build your body up, but right now it's not really so strong, just because the way you can see it is that there's a lot of holes, the fibers are not that straight, so there's a lot of issues here. Now there's also a little bit of a skin ring that we're seeing around the outside of the iris, so the darker edge, and that just shows that the skin, basically the lymph stuff is trying to get pushed out through the skin, but the skin can only do so much, right? Because it's really the job of the kidneys to filter this stuff out. But if the kidneys can't do it because they're too clogged up, then the skin takes on the job. So it's trying to do its best, but you have to help it, okay? Also, we see that the sclera part, the white part of the eye, is kind of like yellowish, and there's lots of red there as well. So that just shows you that, it's the system is basically stressed. When you start to go to a more raw diet, and I mean, like, ideally we should all be on a raw diet, but I can be the first one to tell you that it's very difficult, and it takes a lot of commitment and a lot of knowledge. So it doesn't just happen overnight, for most people, and me included, right? But the more raw you can go, the better off you will be. The first things you want to give up is anything that has to do with dairy, okay? So cheese, milk, cream in coffee. Really, coffee you should be giving up anyways, right? But anything dairy related should be out. Same thing with any meats. Specifically, red meats are probably the worst thing for you, right? But also your chicken, your fish as well. But on the scale of, say, because people ask me all the time, well, I can't give up all meat right now. You can start out by giving up red meat and then working your way towards giving up chicken and then fish and then going off of it. For me, the process took a while, because I started out, for example, as a heavy meat eater, and then I started to kind of cut down away from that, and it took quite a few years actually to completely stop eating animal products. And now I don't really crave it or anything, I don't eat it simply, right? So, but it takes a little bit of time, just because you need to get used to it. So there is also a malabsorption ring. So right around the pupil, the black part, you see that there's almost like a little shadow going around. That's malabsorption. And that's, again, because there's so much lymph, it's built up, your body has trouble absorbing, okay? So just so you know, it is there. What you're going to start to see is and I mean, when I say you're going to start to see it, it's not going to be after a day, it's going to be after maybe 6 months or something like that. But you're going to start to see the fibers in the eye get straighter. like in terms of what your eye is going to look like, and in terms of general health, everything is going to improve. But if you start to detox heavily, you can expect lymph to start coming out of the body. So it can come out through acne. It can come out through just like mucus. So sometimes people get like sore throat after being on raw juices for a day or two, and that's again because there's so much lymph being moved through the throat that it's irritating the throat, and then the throat gets sore. So things like that can happen, especially in the beginning. So don't be afraid of that. It will pass. Your body is just trying to clear it out. Don't suppress it, because that's the worst you can do. Is if your body's clearing it out, you're working hard on doing the detox, eating the right foods, and then you're just like, oh my god, this is not good. I'm gonna like take something to suppress it, or put something on the skin to stop the acne from coming in. Like this is not the same as when people eat dairy continuously and they continuously get, for example, acne, right? You're detoxing it out now, so it's important for it to go away. So, and then also the sclera, the white part, is going to start to get whiter and more vivid looking, not so much yellow. The redness is going to start to go away. So that's another thing you're going to be seeing. But really, it's not so much about the eyes. We're just looking at the eyes to see the overall picture of your health. But you will feel a lot of changes within your body. Your energy will improve. I mean, sky's the limit. So all you have to do is make changes in how you eat, and it is difficult because it has to be done continuously. But any change, anytime you're getting away from animal products, it really does help, especially dairy. I don't know why it is that dairy clogs us up so much, but it really, trust me when I say it really does. And a lot of this lymph, does kind of, to me, it seems like it has to do with that. Now let's talk about specific areas where we are seeing problems. These areas are where there's either a big lymphatic buildup, so a lot of white, or there is a hole in the fiber itself. So if you look at the diagram for the iridology, so I see a lot of congestion in the area of the head, as well as tonsils, nose. So there's a lot of lymph in there. So if you're getting headaches, if you're getting colds, things like that all the time, that's the reason, is because there is a lot of built up over in that area. And that's your upper left area over there, as well as in the head, which is just your upper area. Now continuing to go around, I'm just pointing out the more obvious ones to me, because you could see that there's stuff pretty much everywhere. And this is not just you specifically, this is kind of how everybody's issues are. There's also the around the ear, around the neck, and again, that's just because of the lymph area. There's a lot of lymph nodes there. So I see stuff there as well. Also, around the spleen, around the pelvis, there is a weakness. This is not so much lymphatic buildup, but more weakness. Also around the liver, I'm seeing weakness as well. And this is kind of like, if you Google iridology chart and look up left eye, you will see what I'm talking about there. Because it's hard for me to judge the way, based on one picture. You can actually take a look at your eye and have a much more in-depth look at it, because from one picture it might be difficult to say where on the diagram that organ is in your iris, because the picture can be off a little bit and it really does make a big difference. So please check that out. Overall, as you start to eat better, you will see that your body is getting strengthened and all these areas will start to improve, because all you have to do is make the lymph go away from your body, so you have to start moving lymph. And as you start to do that through detox and all of that, then you will see overall all of these organs getting strengthened and improve, and all of these problems will start to disappear. But it does take time, it does take determination, and you really just have to do it. I really hope you find this review helpful. If you have any questions, please let me know below the video. If you guys would like me to review your eyes, I will leave all the links down below this video. So please send them to my Instagram. That would be probably the easiest place where I can get it. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe, and I'll see you next video.